Kos, a legendary alien mercenary known for his ruthless efficiency, stood before a high-ranking official in the heart of Zarin Station. This interstellar hub was a bustling metropolis teeming with life from every corner of the galaxy. Sleek starships zipped through the sky above while below. A diverse mix of species bartered and traded in vibrant market stalls. The air was filled with the hum of advanced technology and the chatter of countless alien languages, making Zarin Station a melting pot of cultures and commerce. The mission briefing. In a dimly lit room within the station's administrative center, Kos received his latest mission. The official, a stern-faced alien with multiple eyes and an imposing stature, outlined the details with precision. "Your target," he said, "is a human diplomat named Alex Kane. He poses a significant threat to our interests due to his role in the ongoing peace negotiations on Torah." Kos listened, his confidence evident in his posture. To him, humans were a lesser species, lacking the physical prowess and technological advancements of many other races. He considered them weak and insignificant. This mission seemed beneath him, a trivial task unworthy of his skills. But the official's insistence on Kane's elimination piqued his curiosity. Alex Kane, the human diplomat. Alex Kane, a seasoned diplomat renowned for his adeptness in navigating the treacherous waters of interstellar politics, stood as a beacon of humanity's burgeoning influence in the galaxy. His assignment had brought him to the neutral planet of Torah, a world where Earth's embassy stood amidst a landscape of unique architecture. The embassy itself was a blend of sleek modern design and traditional Earth aesthetics, symbolizing the delicate balance of power and diplomacy at play. The atmosphere in Torah was tense, the air charged with the unresolved conflicts of alien factions vying for dominance. Kane's role was critical. He was to broker peace between these rival groups using his diplomatic skills to foster understanding and cooperation. His dedication to this mission was unwavering, driven by a deep belief in humanity's potential to serve as a stabilizing force in the galaxy. The shadow looms. Inside the embassy, Kane moved with a calm and purposeful demeanor. His office, a room filled with holographic displays and strategic maps, was a testament to his meticulous nature. He pored over documents and reports, preparing for the intense negotiations ahead. Despite the heavy burden of his responsibilities, Kane remained focused, his mind constantly strategizing the next move to bring about a lasting peace. Unbeknownst to him, danger lurked in the shadows. Kos, the alien mercenary, was already on Torah, observing Kane's every move. The diplomat's calm was shattered as a series of seemingly random events began to unfold, each more unsettling than the last. A flicker of movement outside his window, the strange malfunction of his security systems, all signs of an impending threat. The tension mounted, but Kane, ever the diplomat, remained composed, unaware that his skills would soon be tested in ways he had never imagined. The first attempt. In the dim corridors of the embassy, the stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge both Kane's diplomatic acumen and Kos's deadly prowess. The stakes were high, and the outcome uncertain as the human diplomat unwittingly prepared to face an adversary unlike any he had encountered before. Kos meticulously planned his approach, spending days in the shadows surveilling Kane's every movement. His confidence grew as he watched the human diplomat go about his daily routine, seemingly oblivious to the threat looming over him. Kos observed from hidden vantage points, analyzing Kane's patterns and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Every detail was noted and calculated, from the timing of Kane's meetings to his preferred routes through the bustling city of Torah. The market ambush. The chosen setting for the assassination was a lively marketplace in the heart of Torah, a place where the chaos of daily life would provide ample cover for the mercenaries' deadly intentions. The marketplace was a vibrant tapestry of colors and sounds, with alien merchants hawking exotic wares and visitors from across the galaxy bartering for goods. Stalls overflowed with shimmering fabrics, strange fruits, and technological gadgets, creating a sensory overload that masked Kos's presence as he moved through the crowd. his eyes locked on his target. As Kane strolled through the market, engaging in light conversation with a few familiar vendors, Cos saw his opportunity. The mercenary blended seamlessly into the background, his dark clothing and stealth technology rendering him nearly invisible. He positioned himself on a rooftop overlooking the market, his sniper rifle trained on Kane's head. The bustling scene below provided the perfect backdrop for an untraceable kill. The narrow escape. Cos's finger tightened on the trigger, but at the last possible moment, Kane bent down to examine a piece of alien artwork, causing the shot to miss its mark by a fraction of an inch. The high-velocity projectile whizzed past Kane's ear, shattering a nearby stall in a burst of splinters and sending the marketplace into chaos. Shouts of alarm filled the air as merchants and visitors scattered in all directions, seeking cover from the perceived attack. Kane, instinctively sensing the danger, ducked and rolled behind a sturdy display, his heart pounding in his chest. He scanned the rooftops, trying to identify the source of the shot, but Cos had already repositioned himself, blending back into the shadows. The human diplomat's narrow escape left him shaken but unharmed, his mind racing to comprehend the sudden threat. A new respect. From his new vantage point, Cos watched with growing frustration. He had underestimated the human's reflexes and instincts, traits he had previously dismissed as irrelevant. This failure gnawed at him, challenging his perception of humans as weak and inferior. The mercenary's confidence wavered, replaced by a simmering rage. He would not be bested by a mere human. As the market slowly returned to normal, Cos vowed to finish the job, now driven by a mix of professional pride and a newfound respect for his elusive prey. Delving into the unknown, Cos, now consumed by his failure, dived deep into an investigation about humans, driven by a need to understand their unexpected resilience. He returned to Zeren Station, the interstellar hub where information flowed as freely as the trade goods. In the dimly lit archives of the station, he pored over ancient alien records, dusty tomes, and digital databases, searching for clues about what had gone wrong. The search for answers. The archives were a labyrinthine complex filled with the accumulated knowledge of countless civilizations. Cos navigated through narrow aisles of towering shelves, each one crammed with artifacts and scrolls. His interactions with other mercenaries, seasoned killers who had encountered humans, were filled with skepticism and curiosity. They shared their tales of narrowly missed kills and inexplicable escapes, each story adding to the growing enigma of human survival. The Sixth Sense. One evening, Cos found himself in a secluded corner of the archive, consulting an ancient holographic record. The projection flickered to life, depicting an alien scholar from centuries past. The scholar spoke of a mysterious sixth sense possessed by humans, an almost supernatural ability that allowed them to sense impending danger. This sense, the scholar theorized, was a primitive yet powerful tool for survival, giving humans an edge even against technologically superior foes. As Cos absorbed this information, a sense of dread mingled with his curiosity. The idea of an innate human ability that defied logic and technology was both fascinating and terrifying. This sixth sense explained Kane's near-miraculous escape and the mercenary's unprecedented failure. The realization gnawed at Cos, challenging his beliefs and skills. He had always prided himself on his ability to control and predict outcomes, but this new variable was beyond his understanding. Obsession and doubt. Cos's obsession with the mission deepened. He spent hours in the archives, studying every mention of human encounters and their uncanny survival stories. He replayed the failed assassination attempt in his mind, analyzing every detail, seeking to identify what he had missed. His professional pride was at stake, but so was his understanding of his own capabilities. The more he learned, the more conflicted he became. Fear began to creep into his thoughts, mingling with his determination. What if humans were not as weak as he had always believed? What if this mission was more than just a job, but a test of his own limits? Cos's confidence wavered, replaced by a nagging doubt. He knew he had to finish what he started, but now the mission was no longer just about eliminating a target. It was about confronting an unexpected challenge that defied his very understanding of the universe. A diplomat's strategy. Alex Kane sat in his quarters within the Earth Embassy on Torah, his mind preoccupied with the delicate negotiations ahead. The embassy, a secure yet somewhat vulnerable enclave, was a blend of earthly design and Tauran influences. Tall windows allowed the alien sunlight to filter in, casting a serene glow over the minimalist furniture and strategically placed security measures. Unease and vigilance. Despite the calm exterior, Kane's instincts told him something was amiss. He began to notice subtle signs that he was being watched. A flicker of movement outside the window, the unexplained malfunction of his personal security system, and the unusual behavior of the embassy staff, all pointed to an unseen threat. His senses, honed by years of diplomatic service in volatile regions, were on high alert. The feeling of being hunted grew stronger with each passing day, an invisible pressure that Kane couldn't ignore. Realizing the severity of the situation, Kane knew he had to act swiftly. He couldn't rely on standard security protocols. His adversary was too skilled. Drawing on his extensive experience in diplomacy and strategy, he began to devise a plan. Setting the trap. Kane mapped out his daily routine, identifying patterns and potential vulnerabilities. He then deliberately altered his behavior, creating a series of false trails to confuse and mislead his pursuer. Kane also reached out discreetly to his most trusted contacts, gathering information and resources without arousing suspicion. He set traps within the embassy, using advanced surveillance equipment to monitor any intrusions. His goal was to lure the assassin into a controlled environment where he could turn the tables. Every move he made was calculated, each decision aimed at gaining the upper hand. Kane's strategic mind was his greatest weapon, and he intended to use it to its fullest. The final confrontation. The final confrontation was set in an abandoned industrial complex on the outskirts of Torah. The vast, echoing halls and decaying machinery provided a fitting backdrop for the showdown. The air was thick with tension as both Kane and Kaz prepared for their encounter, each determined to outsmart the other. Kaz arrived first, his movements silent and precise as he scouted the area. He positioned himself in the shadows, his keen eyes scanning for any sign of his prey. Kane, meanwhile, entered the complex through a different route, using his knowledge of the layout to stay one step ahead. He had laid a series of traps and distractions designed to disorient and delay the assassin. As the two adversaries maneuvered through the maze of rusting metal and flickering lights, the tension mounted. Kane's heart pounded in his chest, but his mind remained clear. He knew that the slightest mistake could be fatal. Kaz, equally focused, was driven by a mix of frustration and determination. The hunt had become personal, and he was resolved to see it through. The battle. The climactic battle began with a series of quick, calculated strikes. Kane used the environment to his advantage, leveraging his knowledge of the complex to evade and counter Kaz's attacks. The assassin's superior strength and agility were matched by Kane's resourcefulness and tactical acumen. Sparks flew as metal clashed against metal, the sound echoing through the empty halls. In a desperate bid to end the fight, Kaz lunged at Kane with his wrist blade, aiming for a lethal blow. Kane, anticipating the move, sidestepped and countered with a makeshift weapon he had crafted from the industrial debris. The fight was fierce and relentless, both combatants pushing their limits in a deadly dance of skill and strategy. A mercenary's reflection. The battle raged on, with neither side willing to relent. Kaz's frustration grew with each failed attempt to overpower the human diplomat. Kane's resilience and adaptability were unlike anything he had encountered before, challenging his every assumption about human weakness. A shattered perception. As the fight continued, Kaz began to reflect on his past experiences. He had always believed in the superiority of his race and the inferiority of humans, but Kane's tenacity and ingenuity were forcing him to reconsider. Every maneuver, every counterattack, revealed a depth of skill and determination that defied his expectations. The turning point. In a moment of clarity, Kaz realized that his perception of humans had been fundamentally flawed. They were not the weak, insignificant beings he had thought them to be. They possessed a strength that went beyond physical prowess, a strength rooted in their will to survive and their capacity for adaptation. This realization became a turning point for Kaz. His frustration gave way to a newfound respect for his opponent. He began to see Kane not just as a target, but as a worthy adversary. This shift in perspective altered his approach to the battle, infusing his moves with a renewed sense of purpose and respect. The stalemate. The fight reached a stalemate, with both combatants locked in a tense and exhausting struggle. The abandoned complex echoed with the sounds of their conflict, each clash of metal a testament to their unyielding resolve. Both Kane and Kaz knew that the outcome of this battle would have far-reaching consequences, not just for themselves, but for the broader conflict they represented. As they circled each other, searching for an opening, a mutual understanding began to form. They were both warriors in their own right, driven by a deep sense of duty and honor. This realization did not diminish their determination to win, but it added a layer of complexity to their encounter. An unlikely alliance. As the battle wore on, an unexpected development unfolded. A third party, a rogue faction with its own agenda, entered the fray. This new threat forced Kane and Kaz to reassess their priorities and consider an unlikely alliance. The new threat. The rogue faction, consisting of mercenaries and operatives from various alien races, had been watching the conflict between Kane and Kaz with keen interest. Seeing an opportunity to strike, they launched a surprise attack, hoping to eliminate both combatants and gain control of the negotiations on Torah. The sudden onslaught of the rogue faction caught both Kane and Kaz off guard. They quickly realized that their chances of survival were slim if they continued to fight each other. Reluctantly, they decided to join forces to repel the new threat. A temporary truce. The truce between Kane and Kaz was born out of necessity rather than trust. They coordinated their efforts, combining their strengths to fend off the rogue faction. Kane's strategic mind and Kaz's combat skills complemented each other, creating a formidable team. The battle against the rogue faction was intense and chaotic. The abandoned complex became a battleground, with explosions and energy blasts lighting up the dark corridors. Kane and Kaz fought side by side, their movements synchronized in a deadly dance of survival. Mutual respect. As they fought together, a mutual respect began to grow. Kaz saw firsthand the resourcefulness and bravery of the human diplomat, while Kane recognized the skill and honor of the alien mercenary. Their alliance, though temporary, was built on a foundation of shared goals and a deeper understanding of each other's strengths. The rogue faction was relentless, but Kane and Kaz's combined efforts gradually turned the tide of the battle. They pushed their enemies back, reclaiming control of the complex inch by inch. The experience forged a bond between them, one that transcended their initial animosity. The aftermath. With the rogue faction defeated, Kane and Kaz found themselves standing amidst the ruins of the abandoned complex. The battle had taken its toll on both of them, but they had emerged victorious. The alliance had proven effective, and now they faced the reality of their situation. A new perspective. Kane, ever the diplomat, extended a hand to Kaz. "We may be from different worlds," he said, "but today we've shown that we can achieve great things together. Perhaps there's more to learn from each other than we initially thought." Kaz, though wary, accepted the gesture. "You have proven to be a worthy adversary and ally, Kane. I underestimated you and your kind. I see now that strength comes in many forms." The path forward. The two parted ways, but the encounter had left a lasting impact on both of them. Kane returned to his diplomatic duties with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of the complexities of interstellar politics. He knew that the alliance with Kaz, however brief, had opened new possibilities for cooperation and peace. Kaz, on the other hand, began to question his own beliefs and the nature of his work. The experience with Cain had challenged his perceptions and forced him to reconsider his approach to future missions. He returned to Zeren Station with a newfound respect for humans and a determination to apply the lessons he had learned. Reflections. As Cain and Kaz reflected on their encounter, they both realized that their paths would likely cross again. The galaxy was vast and unpredictable, but they had proven that even the most unlikely alliances could lead to extraordinary outcomes. Their story was far from over, and they were both ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. A new beginning. The final chapter of their story began with a renewed commitment to their respective causes. Cain continued to work tirelessly for peace and cooperation, while Kaz sought to refine his skills and approach as a mercenary. The ripple effect. The alliance between Cain and Kaz had a ripple effect throughout the galaxy. Other mercenaries and diplomats began to take notice, inspired by their example. The story of their unlikely partnership spread, becoming a symbol of hope and possibility in a time of uncertainty. Future encounters. Cain and Kaz's paths crossed several more times in the years that followed. Each encounter brought new challenges and opportunities for collaboration. They learned to trust each other, building a relationship based on mutual respect and a shared vision for the future. Legacy. Their story became a legend, a testament to the power of understanding and cooperation. Cain and Kaz's journey was a reminder that even the most entrenched beliefs could be challenged and transformed through experience and open-mindedness. Their legacy continued to inspire future generations, proving that unity and strength could be found in the most unexpected places. Conclusion. As Cain and Kaz looked toward the future, they knew that their story was just beginning. The galaxy was full of mysteries and adventures waiting to be explored. Together, they had proven that anything was possible, and they were ready to face whatever came next, side by side.